What up, world? How y'all doing? Wednesday morning motivational inspiration. Shout out to everybody that's up going to work, going to school. Getting them beautiful babies up for daycare. My people already at work, and then my people on their way to bed. I love you all. Hope you tapped in with the plug this morning. My son turned 5 today. Shout out to Drudy. Daddy loves you so much. And this morning I wanted to give a special shout out to all the kids in the world. First off, because while we all, live our everyday lives and can easily get caught up in the drama of the world, it's easy to forget it's kids in homeless shelters. It's easy to forget that there's kids in foster homes. There's kids with parents that are strung out on drugs. There's kids that looking out the window saying, why mama ain't at home yet? There's kids who waking up to find out their daddy got murdered last night. So thoughts and prayers out to all the children of the world. God protect the babies. And then my second shout out is to all the parents to make the sacrifices to go provide for their children. Working 2-3 jobs, missing birthdays, missing holidays. It's an interesting balance to try to juggle as a father and a provider. And there's a lot of mamas in this world that's providers as well. So shout out to all y'all on this beautiful Wednesday morning. But I hope you're in a state of gratitude. What's 5 things you're grateful for off the rip? I know you got something circulating good in your life. Hope you woke up, smile. Thank you for another opportunity in life. Not doing a party for the kid this weekend. Cause my Junebug's birthday is next. It's crazy. I got 2 kids' birthdays in the month of June. Drudy's is today and Junebug's is the 23rd. Mine's the 22nd. So it's just popping all around here. And this morning before I left the house, my oldest daughter, Shell, she woke up and she had made a birthday card for her little brother. And I know I talk about my children a lot, but it's such a very interesting dynamic because, like I said, my kids got 3 different mamas, but they all live with daddy. So they view each other as actual brother and sister, not that's daddy's other kids, but everybody is super close. And that's why I don't just say if you didn't come from a strong family, make sure a strong family comes to you. I really live that. My daddy, he has 2 daughters, so I got 2 older sisters. They only spent the night at our house one time as a kid. I never really got to know much about them. Now that they've grown, I talk to them a little more. I get to see their children and stuff. They actually want me to train their kids in basketball. They think it's cool that I do this YouTube stuff, so I'm like the quote-unquote famous person in the family. But I didn't get to be as close to them as I would have liked to as a child. I thought it was cool to have older sisters. So to have the dynamic to where all of my kids know each other, not just that's daddy's other kids, or we hopefully get to see our brother. It's a beautiful situation. I never imagined I would be able to pull off. But once again, that's why I believe. Because I know what I went through having these baby mamas and being young and having a ton of kids. Man, I've been in labor and delivery so many times, it's ridiculous. But if ain't nobody around to guide you and let you know the proper way to go in life, then how will you know? That's why I say guard children. Because speaking from experience, the younger sex is pushed on you, the more it warps your brain and the frequency that you can have it. That's why I didn't accomplish much when I was young. I was always sleeping with a different girl. God damn. And like as a boy, you can't tell girls no. Because you turn a girl down and it's like, what's wrong with you? Is nigga, you gay? All these insults start coming at you. So you got to knock her down, and then she tell her homegirls that you got to knock all them down, and then you're in a situation where you hit the whole hood, and just it's not as cool as it seems. And the way it's pushed on young men now to grow up and become high value, and then you can go get these chicks. Hey, really learn yourself and who you are on the inside. Have a spiritual connection. Because just like you could be addicted to food or liquor or any type of drugs, you could be out here addicted to women. Chasing behind everything to look good. And growing up is learning the difference between eye candy and soul food. Because a lot of things that are sweet in the mouth, they turn sour in the belly. And I'm speaking from real life experience. And I'm sure it's a lot of other people out there that can co-sign with me. But that's the best part about being young, right? Is learning and growing. I'm actually grateful that I had all my kids 19, 20. I hate to be one of these men out here 37 years old having my first child, not understanding the situation I'm getting into, not really knowing this woman, and then I'm stressed out at 44. I bumped my head enough times when I was really young, and now, like I said, I just want to chill in life. Most people grinding so they can be seen. I'm grinding to get out the way. I don't need no more exposure, no more attention. If I got as much attention as I did in the hood, I can't imagine what happens when they put this face worldwide. Look here, look here, look here. But just like I have the ability to overcome what I've been through, you do as well. Somebody said yesterday that they enjoy these videos more than their reaction videos, and I really appreciate that, because these are just my pure, random, raw thoughts going across my head. I just like to think about a lot of different concepts. I like to ask a lot of questions, and the world is really sensitive, and I don't really care about things like that. Like, I do have a question I wanted to pose. Would you rather live 30 years and have an exciting, adventurous life, or would you rather live 100 years and have a safe life? Like you didn't do anything, you didn't follow your heart, you didn't put yourself in risky situations, you just, stayed in line like a lot of the masses do. And let me know what y'all say. And for myself personally, though, you already know how I feel. If I'm going out with a bang. I've just matured on my thinking. Like when I was a kid, everybody would be like, Johnny, why you don't wear a seatbelt? And I would always say, if you get into a car accident, do you want to be stuck in the car, or do you want to fly out the windshield? Like, I was just a little reckless motherfucker. I don't know, man. My thought perspective, I didn't take life as serious as I do now, and a lot of kids don't. I don't know what happens with kids, why we take life as a joke. Like, I was watching the YNW Melly trial yesterday and just reading the comments, and to see how many kids are on there just playing on the internet, it's like, we don't take life seriously at all. And for me, after the death of my first son, I didn't take life serious. After the death of my second son, if I'm being truthful, I still didn't take life serious. When my mama died and I lost help with my children, that's when I started taking life serious, when I had to be fully responsible. I think that's why a lot of people don't want to have children outside of the divorce situation. It's the amount of responsibility that it puts on you, because you really got to be responsible, or you're going to have some little rugrats running around out here. Like watching this YNW Melly trial, I seen, Charleston White said he hope he gets the death penalty and all that, and I look at the situation as a kid who was a product of his environment, and his mother praised him for what he was doing. So he didn't know it was wrong, and it made him a lot of money. My mama praised me for being able to sleep with a bunch of girls, because girls was paying her phone bill. Girls was taking my mama to get her nails done and her feet done. Girls was taking my mama out to eat. So it wasn't bad to my mama that I was 15 sleeping with grown women, that I was 16 sleeping with these women, that I was 17 sleeping with these women. I was a product of what I was raised around. And my daddy was in and out of jail at that time, so who was he to say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this? And you show me a young boy that's about to turn down a grown woman. So, yes, it's unfortunate that boy did what he did, because he was dummy talented. Holy moly guacamole. I would love to have a conversation with him, because I haven't met or listened to somebody who had so many different styles and flows and versatility. Like I said, Melly had the potential to be really, really big, but he didn't have any guidance. When I was 17, my barber Jose told me the key to a happy relationship was having a side chick. That don't get you real far in life. But we only know what is taught to us by these environments, and it's really easy to look at these kids and say, these little motherfuckers are just reckless, and they just some killers, and they just don't know no better. If you only knew inside of the environments we were born into, we were praised for our behavior. Nobody said it was bad that I was 16 with a roster of 10 different chicks. I was the man. All the old dudes looked up to me. I remember complaining about sleeping with so many women when I was young because I was tired and missing basketball practice and missing games because girls wanted me to. And the so-called OGs were saying, little nigga, you lucky. You lucky you get to have all these girls. You lucky you get to sleep with all these women. What kind of advice is that? I'm 19 years old at the Usher, Trey Songz, and Neo concert with this 42-year-old lady. She looked good for 42, I guess, but mind you, in my head, I know she was older than my mama at the time. My mama was 39. But it was all cool in that environment. I don't want my son at 19 with no 40-year-old woman. I don't want my sons at 13, 14, and 15 sleeping with these girls. I want them figuring out who they are and developing themselves. Because I was expanding so much energy off in these women. I didn't have energy to get to know myself. And so I just try to share a different perspective of what's painted from the young boys who make reckless decisions, whether it's murdering people or, selling drugs or all that. You have to understand, and there's no one around you that tells you what you're doing is bad. And there's the one-offs. Like when I was growing up, I had a 6th grade teacher, tell me, Johnny, you don't have to be like the rest of the boys around here. My JV basketball coach, Coach Monaco, I love you. I got to find him again one day. He was a big influence in my life. He really pushed me. He saw a lot more in me when it came to basketball than I saw in myself. But I was too busy sleeping with girls because that's what I was praised for. Like, listen to your favorite R&B song or your favorite rap song. That's really how the inner city works. They not just saying that. And I had to evolve past that I couldn't just keep catching everything that was thrown at me. But you seen the football drills, they be catching the footballs? That's how I was as a teenager, Brody. But on the flip side of that, I can also say I remember thinking girls were disgusting. I was like 12 years old and didn't want to kiss girls. I was like, nah, I ain't with that shit. I don't want that. In the 7th grade is when I realized like girls liked me. Like when I had an impact and I was walking through the school and turning around and girls used to write notes and stuff it in my locker and all kind of shit like that. In 8th grade, I had a bunch of different options to go to the dance. It was overwhelming. But I can say I went from losing my virginity to sleeping with every girl in the neighborhood in a 2-week period. Because that's how easy it was as a young man to have access to these young women who didn't have their mothers and fathers around. Like I said, we talk a lot about the recklessness in the inner city, but man, we kids raising ourselves. What do you expect to come from it? Look at the way American children are nowadays. It's because they raising themselves. Black, white, Asian, Mexican, if they all consuming the same information on TikTok, they becoming the same people, unfortunately. So I'm just trying to do my part and say, man, you can rise above your environment, and where you come from does not have to determine where you can go. And you probably won't find a lot of people when you decide to start living I don't want to say righteous life, because I ain't nobody done me perfect. But when you get tired of your own mistakes, you're tired of your own BS. It takes a lot of heart to look at yourself and say, I'm the problem. I'm responsible for what I'm doing. And once you get there, that's when you motivate yourself, and that's when you got to have tunnel vision. Because you know where you want to go, you know what you want to accomplish. But you have to ask yourself, do you have the discipline to get what you want from this material world? Truthfully, because nothing is going to happen today or tomorrow. We all have planted a seed before. You don't know the gestational period. But are you willing to wait 10 years for what you want? Are you willing to wait 17 years? And that's where life has us in a catch-22, because we live in a time of instant gratification right now. DoorDash, Uber Eats, Venmo, PayPal. We got these VR headset. You got that new Apple headset coming. So it's really going to be able to really give you an intense feeling, an intense hit of dopamine right away. Can you play the long game? I personally believe anything that comes fast isn't worth having. And if it takes a while to get, that means it's going to stay a while. Man. Everything is a challenge, everything is a risk. But without risk, there's no reward. In a society that wants to keep you fearful, it either wants to keep you fearful, or it wants to keep you living a YOLO life where you don't value yourself or anyone or anything around you. You know what I'm saying? Can we have balance? Can we have balance, please? Because without balance, there is no existence. There has to be the yin and the yang. And we really playing with energy in a weird way in the world right now. Maybe somebody can let me know in the comments who see this video today or 50 years from now. But has energy ever been manipulated like this in the world? Or has it ever been on this much of a tilt of a negative energy? Because I don't feel like my childhood wasn't this way. I've read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, and I know the devil says he controls 98 out of every 100 people, but I don't know. I feel like there used to be more of a balance of energy that was slung around the world. And I keep saying, man, you play with fire, you will eventually get burned. My grandma used to say that too. And right now I feel like America, not just America, but just the West, is really playing with energy in a weird way. And if I can read books like The Art of War, if I can go back and figure out, this ain't a good trend. If I can read Sex and Culture by J.D. Unwin, I'm sure somebody else in the world can too. And we gotta counterbalance this thing, or we in for a rude awakening. I can't say we, because you really don't know how fast life is gonna change. But we definitely have to start protecting our children. You know, what's the saying? Strong men create good times create weak men create hard times. Right now, it's a lot of weak men in this world that's running away from their responsibility. And, you know, it's a lot of blaming the women and blaming the men, and you can say, what came first, the chicken or the egg? I don't truthfully know. I'm stepping aside from the matrix, and I'm doing my part to create positive, uplifting content. Because your art will outlive you. That's something that you really, really have to think deep about. Your art will outlive you. Everything that you put on the internet, everything that you post on every social media site, it will outlive you. What will your legacy be? What image are you painting of yourself? And if you're painting yourself as a minstrel show, then you cannot be shocked when you're represented as such. We remember the ignorance with white people painting their face black and making a mockery of black people, and now you have a lot of black people, you know, taking money to make mockery of themselves. They say the love of money is the root of all evil, and I don't agree with that, but I will say you have to have some type of morals. At least that's what it used to be like anyway. You saw a lot of family units, and now they'll sell their mom out, their daddy out, their cousin. They'll sell anybody out for $1. Rappers die, and then their mamas go on tour to talk about their funeral, and we have to become a better representation of ourselves. And I'm starting as an individual myself with the man in the mirror, because I'm above the concept of I represent the black community. I represent my children. I represent my daddy, my grandfather, the lineage that I come from. I ain't got nothing to do with all these niggas. What type of ignorance would that be to say I'm responsible for how everyone treats themselves? Like that's the game that the world plays. I'm spirit encased in human flesh, so the way I carry myself, I'm okay with it inspiring a young white boy, a young Mexican boy, a young Korean boy or Asian boy. I'm not carrying myself for the black race. Because the more we divide ourselves, we playing into the Hunger Games, we playing into the communism of the world. I'm not trying to be divided no more. I want to be united with, we gotta look out for our damn kids, because this shit is getting crazy. But outside that, I mean, we just people. We trying to grow and evolve, and we all come from some type of weird childhood. And it's a lot of kids that are caught up in the propaganda of the world now that it's gonna have serious effects on them because they don't have anyone around to talk to them respectfully. They criticizing them, they poking fun at them, they being rude, and it ain't my job to judge a child, but it is my job to listen to them and ask, how did you get in this situation? Kids literally copy what's around them. Their brain is observing it's a sponge from 0 to 7. So when kids turn out certain ways, you gotta be able to sit down and ask them, hey, what happened to you when you was young? Why were you conducting yourself this way? And if no one knows, if you just being rude on them, I mean, if somebody came to you and calling you out your name, do that make you change your opinion, or do you double down on how you feel? Realistically, you ain't about to let nobody talk reckless to you. So find a way to get your point across, but say it with love. Say it where it inspires somebody, where it makes them think. Because everyone thinks, but no one thinks. Because if they did, they wouldn't fall propaganda to this world. I promise humans are 10 times smarter than what the media and what the elites think. I promise you guys are. But we all got so many things going on in our life that it's hard to step back and say, wait, this is all bullshit. For the first 25 years of my life, I really believed that my skin color could stop me from trying things. So you know what? I didn't try. And once I started trying, I accomplished things. And did I have setbacks? And did I face obstacles? Yes. But then you look around and you say, damn, so do white people. So do the Asians and the Koreans. So did Jeremy Lin when he didn't get to play in the NBA no more, and now he's back overseas. We all get knocked down. But once you get knocked down, it's up to you to decide if you get up or you stay there. And I'm just encouraging you to get up. Not influencing you, because that ain't my job. But I encourage you to get up and keep going. Dust yourself off and try again. Word to Aaliyah. But on this beautiful Wednesday, once again, shout out to my son. Happy birthday, Daddy loves you. But share this video with somebody who needs it. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be happy, be happy, be happy. Be in a state of gratitude. And smile. Because you know what? Them blessings, that abundance, it's on the way, baby. God gonna look out for you. Spirit is perfect, therefore you are perfect. Walk around and blow a bag on everybody. Hold the door for a whole lady. Call your mama, call your daddy, call your baby mama, call your grandma. Just call somebody that's close to you and tell them to have a good day. Or if you're on the other side of the world, say have a good night. I love you all. Have a super mega awesome day or night. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.